We work hard, we play hard. We are gamerpreneurs. Individuals who have chosen to give up the security of a 9 to 5 in favor of getting to set our own hours, of doing the work that we want to do, and we refuse to give up the hobby that we grew up with in order to, quote, grow up. We have learned countless laws of life and sales from the games that we play, and we excel in everything we do. We see the wonder and glory in every interaction. We fit in awkwardly with the rest of the world because they don't understand our quirkiness, and we wear it as a badge of pride. We are focused, clear, and know what we want. We are gamerpreneurs, and we are taking over the world. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, I have a very special guest for you. We have Renee Ruiz. Hi there, Renee.
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. So what's your handle before we even start? I want to know.
It is Virgo4u. That is my Twitch handle. Should we go also into Twitter as well, too?
Well, we'll get to that at the end, but
okay,
I just want to, you prefer Renee or Virgo?
Oh, yeah, Virgo4u, yeah.
Virgo4u, okay. So Virgo4u, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Basically, I am a stay-at-home mom. I'm 33 years old. I am also a gamer. Been a gamer ever since I was a kid, like 10 years old and up. I pretty much love to stream a lot of VR games, a lot of first-person shooter games, horror games, anything that has to do with community-based games. So.
Okay, wonderful. So I want to unpack that VR in just a second, but I always start every episode kind of with a fun question. So I want to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high, how weird are you?
I'm not weird or anything, but I guess I'm a 7, a 7, yeah.
Why is that?
Because I'm more on the serious motherly type, no sort of but nah, I'm just very chilled and all. So it's I'm weird, but I'm not weird. So.
Okay, I understand. I'm kind of a stay-at-home dad too. I work from home and my daughter is currently in the back room just hiding with her mom. So.
Okay.
So VR, tell me how are you involved in VR? I love VR. It was the coolest thing the very first time I put on a headset. So can you kind of walk us through how you got started with it and where you're at with that now?
Well, I got started with it in 2016. I first got my Vive when I was a part of the AMD advocate program. AMD meaning Advanced Micro Devices. They had an advocate program going on, and I was streaming on their channel. And they ended up giving me a VR so that I can actually promote Deus Ex on VR. So that's how I got started in being in VR for the first time.
Okay. And where have you gone with that since? Because, I met you on LinkedIn and VR is all over your page.
Yeah. Ever since then, I got away from the AMD aspect of streaming. And pretty much once I got my second daughter, I was pregnant, had my second daughter, and I was basically, stay at home, pretty much all day long because she was an infant. I ended up finding this game called VR Chat, and then that's how I got into more of the VR aspect of things.
Okay. So are there a lot of games for VR? Because it's still fairly a new technology.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of games. There's a lot of first-person shooter games. There's a lot of horror games, community-oriented games as well too. Social aspect, pretty much it's all social. So yeah, there's a lot of games for VR. Beat Saber being one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you even first start streaming? Can you kind of walk us through how you got into streaming?
Well, first I ended up on YouTube since 2006, and I was there for a very long time until I found Twitch, because I wanted to go towards my audience more and engage them more instead of actually recording my stuff, because it's nothing talking to yourself and all that, and there was no interaction and there was no connection. So in 2014 I ended up starting Twitch, and I've been doing that ever since.
Okay, fantastic. And what makes your stream unique?
I do a lot of first-person shooter games, horror games, but I think the most unique thing is actually VR chat. pretty much like there's a lot of stuff to do on VR chat. So I basically would like, I do full body dancing on there and show everybody like, the equipment I have and all that too. Pretty much meet a lot of people on that game as well too. So I basically, that's what pretty much makes it very unique is every day is something new and it's not the same thing.
Okay. Are there a lot of people playing VR chat or, just generally using
Oh
VR?
yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of people playing VR chat and even playing on VR. There's a lot of people that love to play Beat Saber. There's a lot of people that love to play, what's another one? There was this one first person shooter game, standalone. It's almost like PUBG. Pretty much like with that first person shooter game, it's like pretty much one against everybody, like against 100 people. They have standalone that is on VR as well too.
Okay.
And they also have boxing games too.
Very cool. Okay. So I first tried VR, I think it was 3 years ago or so 2016 about, and I haven't really seen too many people using it. It hasn't really reached kind of a full adoption phase yet.
Yeah.
What kind of are the requirements to be able to use a VR set?
Well, first you need your PC to be VR ready, pretty much going with NVIDIA or AMD with their processors, even with Intel. But yeah, you would actually have to have something based on your PC to be VR ready, to have everything run smoothly and no hiccups or anything like that.
Okay, so it really just comes down to the graphics card and the PC you're using. Does
yes.
the particular headset matter? I mean, there's a couple different kinds out there.
No, yeah. There's the Vive Pro, Oculus Rift, Oculus X. There's also the Index, and there's also Oculus Quest that you can use.
Now, how do you know so much about VR?
I'm basically, I love like everything about VR. Pretty much like I'm like a VR enthusiast. If I'm going to pretty much buy an equipment, I basically do a lot of knowledge on it and pretty much study it. And whoever has any questions about it, then I'll actually go forward and tell everyone about it.
Okay, so you're a reviewer in a sense.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Now, what kinds of things do you think make you unique? What unique skills do you have that have been able to kind of make you so successful?
I'm trying to get there, but I think pretty much driving towards trying to get to the whole telling everybody about gaming in general, having them like know, pretty much getting them to know like, hey, it's like you can do whatever you need, like whatever you want to do, and basically just lost some shame thought.
So how about this? What kind of communities are you involved with in VR? Because this is kind of, I'm sure, a fairly new thing for a lot of people. They've heard about VR, but they're not really involved in it.
The only community I am actually like really like a part of would actually be VR chat.
Okay. And how about on Discord? Are there any communities there?
Yeah, there is the Discords there. There's Dead by Daylight. I love playing Dead by Daylight. I love that community. Beat Saber, that community is very helpful as well too. And I'm also part of the AMD community.
Okay, fantastic. Now, for someone just starting out thinking about using VR, where do they go to learn exactly what they need?
I think the best place would be either on Twitch or actually to go into VR chat and get to know the people there. They're very helpful with their knowledge as well too. They'll let everybody know exactly what equipment they need, what works with what, and all that too. So I think basically the games is what they would have to go into to learn a lot of knowledge, or join the Discords to learn a lot of knowledge too.
Fantastic. All right. So since this is the Gamerpreneur, I got to ask, what kinds of ways are you using to make money?
Right now it's Twitch. Pretty much I'm an affiliate on there, and we just got our Club Zodiac Twitch channel affiliate the other day. So yeah, it's growing. It's getting there. And then on my personal channel, I'm an affiliate, like I said, and I'm trying to grow it like that too. Trying to promote it on Twitter, trying to promote it on the Discord, any way we can as well.
Beautiful. Okay. So now you've been streaming for a while now, and you've had your YouTube channel for a long time.
Since 2006.
So yeah. What is something that you wish you had known when you first started? Like if you take all the knowledge you have now and plop it into your brain back then, what was like the number one thing that would come to mind?
Um, hmm. Basically, not to be nervous. Don't uh, don't like get sad about like the numbers and the views. Basically, to continue just to have fun and don't worry about who is watching and all. Just as long as you're having fun, then basically, yeah, then there'll be other people watching. So I know in the beginning I was like that. I was like, oh my god, there's no one watching. It's like, and I would get always discouraged. But yeah, I wish in the beginning I would have just been like, hey, it is what it is. It's a game, and people will come if they want to come and they are interested. They'll come if they're interested.
Fantastic. All right. Now, say someone like me, I don't have a stream. I maybe someday want to have a stream and I want to kind of do it on the VR side. What's some advice you would give to me, brand new newbie?
Have fun. Don't worry about the views. Don't look at the numbers whatsoever. Continue to strive to wherever goal you're trying to go to. Basically, tell people about the equipment of whatever you're doing while you're in VR, what you see, what you're doing, what VR system you got. Just let them know, because there is people that aren't seen on like as a viewer or anything like that. So they'll be ghosting, but they still can see your stream. So it's like, give them information and knowledge as well while you are actually learning all this stuff yourself, especially as a streamer.
Okay, let me ask this. So as a VR streamer, do you have a camera like on your body as well as what you're seeing, or how does that work?
I do. Well, I use this camera sometimes, and I have a green screen as well. But sometimes it'll just be my my VR system, basically whatever I am seeing. Because also in the VR chat game, you actually have a camera that you can actually put as your avatar. So it's basically you can put your avatar on the screen, and that could be your person of like whoever they're seeing. And then you can also have your IRL stuff too, of like, of you talking and all that too. So, but yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So now, you kind of went through this a little bit, but I want your gamer cred. You said you started back when you were a kid, and you're not that old. I'm the same age, exactly the same age as you, so I get it. How did you first start playing video games? Can you what was that?
On the old like 1980s TV, like even in the 90s it was still there. I had Nintendo, like the old like SNES and all that. So yeah, it was just me and my friends like gathered next to each other, just like playing the video games, and pretty much our friends watching each other or playing Dance Dance Revolution on the PlayStation and all that. So basically, with there not being any Twitch streaming whatsoever, it was basically everybody else in the room was your viewers watching you stream.
That's right.
So,
and then you play GoldenEye and it would just get a big old mess, right?
The Golden Gun. Yes.
All right. So are there any games coming out you're looking forward to? Maybe an update or something?
Resident Evil 3, the remake, is what I'm really looking forward to, because I didn't get done the remake for Resident Evil 2 yet, but I played that part B and part A a long time ago on the PlayStation. So I'm looking very forward to Resident Evil 3.
Okay, wonderful. Now, over your long history playing games, what would you say is your absolute favorite? You could have one game. What was it?
I wouldn't say VR chat because that's more a social aspect game. I would say for the horror game side, it would be Outlast. Outlast like gives me withdrawals because it gave me like such a rush, and I loved everything about that game. It was exciting. It was a thriller, and nothing like having to run or hide and not having a weapon to fight back. It's just your adrenaline just gets going, and you're just like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? And then it's like you're hiding and you're scared. So yeah, I love Outlast. That would actually be the top one.
So you're a little bit of an adrenaline junkie then, it sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Would you say the VR helps with that because it kind of puts you into the setting?
Yes. I believe when I played Paranormal Activity, The Lost Souls in VR, my God, that took me 2 or 3 weeks to be on Twitch. And that was so scary. Like, I've never felt so immersed in the game in my life, to where it's like every single place you look, it's like it felt like you were actually in like the house and everything too, and just the air, and it's just so scary, so
Okay.
scary.
So that's really cool that it's so immersive.
Mhm.
Do you think the technology's like there yet, or like what are the
It's getting
limitations of it?
there. It's getting there. I know with the wireless, because I do have a wireless for my Vive Pro. I know that they're now coming out with, like, Vive Cosmo, which is like already has like I believe it's wireless and all that, and I believe Oculus is coming there too. I think like if they get to where there's just glasses even, I think they're coming out with that too, so they're getting there with the technology,
Okay.
but it's like just a little bit of tweaks here and there.
Now, I know there's like stationary treadmills and other like peripherals that'll let you move in the
Yeah,
game. Like,
yeah.
where are those at and where are they going?
um I believe like right now I know that there's the shoes. One of them was at was it CS or something like that. I forget what
CES?
it. Yeah, yeah, CES. One of them was actually like shoes that you put on and you're sitting and you're actually like moving your feet, so you're actually exercising while you're on your, like, on the chair. So it's like, it's moving and your character's actually moving. So I think they're getting to the point of where it's almost like Ready Player One, because they already have treadmills that are there's this one, I think it's like as big as, like, probably like the size of like my floor area over there. So it's it goes each way. It doesn't matter, like, wherever you're turning and all that, it like switch and all. So it's getting there, like even with the treadmills and all. So hopefully they'll make something that is smaller that will be exactly like that and less money and all, especially with the bodysuits are coming out too. They showed that at CES.
All right. No, this sounds so cool. Now, I guess the question is, do you think VR and I guess AR are going to take over regular conventional gaming, or is it just kind of
I
its
think
own separate subset?
I think so. Gaming and in, like, the business aspect too, like with meetings and all. Because when it comes down to the business aspect, if you're like traveling and you don't want to travel, at least the headset will be there. Like, it'll get to where you see like those movies with the futuristic uh holograms and all that. I think it'll get to that point of where you're actually spawning into a place to do a meeting and such. And even games now, they're doing that with business.
That would be pretty darn cool if I could do a meeting and not even have to be there. Although currently in Zoom, you all can't see it on the video, but I'm in my sweatpants. So, this is fantastic. If it's all right, you've talked about kind of what you've done and kind of the success you've had. At the moment, is it all right if I humble you just a little bit and
Okay, yeah,
ask you what's something that you failed at in life, not necessarily just in gaming, but generally? I want people to know not everybody's perfect. We all have something that we've screwed up at times.
hmm I believe it was I think it was just recently, actually. I guess like when it comes down to like the VR stuff and VR chat, like I keep going back to VR chat because there's so much in there. Um, there's Unity and there's programs and all that, and I failed to learn all that. So when I got interviewed for like being a VR enthusiast and all, I didn't get that. So it was like, because I didn't have, the qualifications for being a Unity uh, program person, or in Blender that requires that skill to of whatever they were wanting. So I felt like a failure, and I'm trying to get to the point of where I'm trying to learn about the programming for, like, to build worlds and to build avatars, because that goes into 3D modeling and all. So it's just, I just felt like I failed there.
Okay.
So
But you're taking steps to overcome it.
yeah, yes, I'm trying. Like
Fantastic.
asking questions and all that too. So that's why, like, I do a talk show on our Zodiac channel, because there's a lot of avatar creators and world builders, and I ask those questions and they actually give feedback and everything like that too. So
Can you tell me more about your talk show? So what's the Zodiac channel? What's your show? Just go into that.
Oh yeah, Club Zodiac is actually a dancing club on VR Chat. We formed it in 2018, and we're right now in our Discord at 1,840 members. So we basically surrounded it around the community of Zodiac. When it says Zodiac, the reason why we named it Club Zodiac is because the fact is Zodiac is everybody. It's everyone's zodiac sign. You have the Pisces and Gemini and all that. So we were like, okay, well, we want to have a club that will represent everyone. So that's why we named it Zodiac. Now, when it comes down to the Twitch channel, we want it to be where everyone outside of VR chat gets to know who the Zodiac community is, because we do dancing and we do talent shows, we do avatar themed shows, and we basically, and also DJ events too. So there's actual DJs streaming in VR chat that is transferring over to their channel, and we can actually take their channel's link and put it in VR chat and put it on the big screen so people can see, and everyone that's inside that room actually gets to be a viewer. It gets transferred over onto Twitch. So I know it's so much to
Yeah, no, there's a lot there. How did you even get started with that?
Well, when it comes down to Club Zodiac, before I was actually, I started dancing in full body in March. So I basically wanted to form a club of where everybody can, be themselves and come and dance and just, enjoy life in VR instead of, IRL and stuff. So yeah, that's how we ended up forming that. And we ended up wanting to do a show on Mondays. So that's when we formed Zodiac Talk Show, which would represent all the people that are in Zodiac's community in the Discord and who come to the events and all that. And if the viewers want to get to know who the community is and also.
That's so cool. So,
yeah.
So you started it. It was just because you were dancing.
Yeah, it was.
Now you got a talk show, and nearly 2,000 people following you.
Yeah, it was me and a couple of other people too that are a part of the staff, because we also have people that are building the clubs. We have people that are making the avatars for the clubs, and then I do the event planning and some of the posters in there for the announcements and all that.
Okay. Is there like a fee to join, or is there this takes time? So obviously, is there any way you're making money off of this?
Yeah, we do have a Patreon because we also have a movie world too, where we actually get to watch movies in there too, and you get to put body pillows and all that too for everybody that is actually donating to the Patreon, because it costs money to actually get the bandwidth and all that going. It's unlimited bandwidth is what we want. So, and that costs money. So then we also have that going, and we also have our PayPal too for Club Zodiac, of where people can donate, and it actually goes towards merch and all that too. So we have the merch, we have the PayPal, and we have the Patreon for people to look at, and all that goes towards the club's stuff, which means like giveaways, stuff that like has to go into the club and needs to be built. If there's entertainers in there, like dancers and DJs and all that, we can actually help them with equipment as well too. If any of their stuff breaks, because a lot of our equipment break. Like I think some of the dancers, they were doing handstands and all and doing flips, so one of their controllers actually snapped, and like those controllers are like $140 a pop.
Oh, wow. So this is not an inexpensive hobby.
Oh yeah, no, it like the headset alone for the Vive Pro is around like 800, just the headset.
Okay. Now, what's the turnaround on having to get a new one? Like, I'm assuming the technology is always advancing.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Like right now, everyone is trying to get the index controllers, which basically the index controllers, they like go on your hands, and you actually can use your hands and it transfers over because of the movement and all that. It's like actually mimicking your hand movements. So you're actually in VR and you're actually moving your hands like this, and they can actually see it. There's that, and also there's the trackers. There's some of these trackers, like you get these alone cost $99. And you get 3 that will actually go on your waist and your feet. So it's like that will actually make your whole entire avatar move and all that too. So
Oh, this is so cool.
but yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, kind of talking about your stream a little bit more. Say somebody for the very first time pops in, they've never heard of you before, they just want to check it out. What's something you think they misunderstand about what they're seeing?
Well, I think what they'll say is like, is this an app? Like that's what they ask. They always ask that. They're like, is this an app that you can put on your phone or something? It's like, no. They always think that it's an app of like the avatars and all that, because there's a lot of people that don't know about VR or VR chat. So it's like our avatars, and you do have some of those apps that have like, you're moving around and then you have like the face moving and all that. So they automatically think like, oh, it's one of those. And it's like, no, this is actually a game that I'm actually in. And this is what, like, you're actually looking at my avatar from my game. But yeah, they always ask if that's an app.
All right. So what's your chat like? You got a good chat, a bad chat? They rowdy?
Yeah, it's a good chat because it's a lot from the community from VR chat. Like, because like a lot of the people that I've met on there, it's like they're all over the world. So it's a really good chat. I will get those trolls that will actually come in and say something very negative or say something like racial or something like that. So
yeah, what's the worst trolling you've ever received?
I believe it was either like you're fat or you're not good enough, you're not going to make it, and stuff like that. So.
Well, that's not that bad. So thankfully they were being kind.
So no, it's like there's been worse stuff too, but I don't want to say it on this.
Sure, yeah, I appreciate that. I try to keep this clean. Yeah. Now, on the flip side, what do you think the best compliment you've ever received is?
That I get called a mom like all the time. Like I'm very motherly, and a lot of the people, even from the VR chat community, they all say like I'm the mom of VR chat. So I don't know. So they basically say like I'm kind, I'm generous, I'm respectful, and I'm like a mom. I'm a mom figure.
Okay, wonderful. Now the VR chat community, what's the community like?
Very energetic. They love to dance. There's a lot of people that love to game too. There's programmers in there that are creating worlds and creating games in itself. There's also dancers in there. There's people teaching how to dance. There's people doing aerobics, like exercising. So they're very energetic and they're very respectful and they're nice. And you will get those people that are new that will come in and they're just like, what is this? And it's like, so it's like, they'll have time to actually adjust, and then they'll become like us, and then here comes the new people and they're like, what's this? Like, but no, they're out like pretty much respectful and nice, and they pretty much are very helpful and unique in themselves.
Wonderful. So how many more years until we're all Ready Player One?
Oh, I could see like possibly maybe 2021, 22, maybe.
Really? Just about a year and a half
like
or so.
I think so, because the way that's I'm waiting for everything that CES is their convention has shown to come out. So it's like the feet, like what I was talking about before with like the movements and the feet stuff, that's already out. It's already being sold to places. The treadmill is still, it's still made and it's still being sold, and they're advancing that. The AR is coming out with like more stuff to put in, like if you're at a business, and then you can just like throw it up like on a screen and all that. And so it's getting there, and it's coming close.
Wonderful. Okay, now this has been fantastic. So how do people find you? Where are you at on social media?
I'm on Twitter. I am actually on it's Virgo4u 86. I need to look. Oh my god. They can find me on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube. For my Twitter handle, it's at Virgo4u 86. For my YouTube, it's Virgo4u, but I think I messed up and put Google on there, and it's named Renee Virgo4u. So they can find me on there on YouTube, and also on Twitch, which is just Virgo4u. And then I don't know if you want me to say about Club Zodiac's handle as well too.
Sure, go ahead, yeah.
I'm also I'm doing two things. For Club Zodiac on their Twitter, you can actually look up Club Zodiac VR. That's the Twitter handle. On YouTube, we don't have the actual link yet because we haven't been there for a very long time. We just formed it. But on Twitch, it's actually Club Zodiac that you can look that up. And we just got affiliates, so it's looking good.
Fantastic. All right. So before we wrap up, is there like anything else you want to talk about or anything I didn't ask you that you think we need to discuss?
No, I can't think of anything else.
All right.
No,
Well, in that case, Virgo4u, thank you so much for coming on today. We really do appreciate it. This is mind-blowing, this technology. I cannot wait to see where it goes.
I know, it's exciting. It really is. And I can't wait until it's almost exactly like Ready Player One, where you just have glasses just to put on and then that's it.
I'm personally looking forward to the AR because I don't want to live in the world, but I want to experience.
Of course. Of course.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to say thank you again for coming on, and you take it easy.
All right. Thank you. And you have a great day.
Hey, if you like this podcast, I'd love to invite you to check out a little bit more about me, Dr. Bradford Carlton, Gamerpreneur. If you go to my website, www.thegamerpreneur.com/bonus, I'm going to give you a free copy of my book, The Warcraft of Business, where I explain my history in both gaming and business and how I brought the two together in order to create some very successful companies and help a lot of people. And all you got to do is pay for shipping and processing, and I'll send you this book. I absolutely know you're going to love it. All right. You all take it easy.